today we're talking about Outlander's latest episode, Wentworth Prison. I have no quick thoughts, so I'm just gonna jump right into the rescue. Before I get to Jaime, I want to talk about Clara and the guys a little bit. The scene where she comes out of the prison and kind of falls apart, and Myrta is there to hold her and carry her and get her out of there, was really heartbreaking. I mean, I was like in there with her. Katrina Balfe's performance was just there. I also love that Angus and Rupert actually got some information out of some prison guard, even though the others thought that they were just kind of having fun. They were like, no, we're trying to get Jaime out. Here's information. So you're like, oh, you guys. And now let's look at Jaime's situation. So he was about to hang, but he was rescued by Blackjack. Somehow you knew at that point that this could not be good for him at all. The first bad news is that Blackjack has Jaime's petition because the Duke of Sandrine gave it to him. Yeah, thanks, Duke. So any hope of Jaime being pardoned if he gets out of this is gone as well. But we soon find out that's the least of his problems. It just gets worse and worse from here. And I think I only literally watched 2/3 of this episode and 1/3 was no. Pretty much. Blackjack and his obsession with Jaime. Makes for a good story, but so hard to watch. And I was so happy that Jaime kept on fighting. And I know it probably made things a little worse for him. Not sure how much really, but I was like, you just fight, Jaime. Don't show him your back. Don't show him your back. Unfortunately, that first outburst got the hammer. I could not watch that. And I think one of the worst parts is that Blackjack seems to be sexually excited by torturing Jaime. I don't know why I'm still surprised at how horrible Blackjack is, but I'm still surprised. It's just like a combination of the frustration and just wanting something he's not allowed to, and just being evil and wanting to hurt people. So messed up. And poor Jaime is on the other end of all of that. And it's at that point that Clara finally finds Jaime, and the whole time that she's kind of going down, I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So stressful. And the whole time I'm thinking, why is she there by herself? There's no way she can get him out. However, I was so happy that she fought back against Blackjack for a split second. She wasn't able to get out, but I was like, yes, Claire, don't just stand there and accept your fate. Try everything you can, which actually got her out of possibly being raped. So yes. And I think Blackjack was right in saying that she has the same spirit as Jaime. They just won't give up. And that's so great as an audience to watch. Unfortunately, this also leads to probably the most heartbreaking line of the episode, said by Jaime, "Have me." And then the nail in the head. It's just like, Outlander, what are you doing to me? And then while Jaime had the most heartbreaking line of the episode, Blackjack had the most haunting one when he said, "We will remember this moment for the rest of our lives." God, such a good performance, but so hard to watch. And at this point, you know it's gonna get much, much worse. Unless the others get their acts together and rescue him, which I doubt they're gonna be able to do in time. I don't know if I want to see what happens next. Maybe we can just skip to the end of it next week. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be like this the whole time. Another moment that I love was Claire using her knowledge of the future and telling Blackjack exactly when he's gonna die. So brilliant. Knowledge is power. And I think it freaked Blackjack out just a little bit because she knew quite a bit about him, and he's probably wondering, how the hell do you know this? Because it's not like they have the internet or Facebook or anything like that where it's like, well, you probably looked me up, right? Got you a little bit here, Blackjack, just a little bit. So now we're left with Claire and the guys trying to come up with a plan to get Jaime out, which apparently involves 19 cattles. So as hard as this episode was to watch, I'm really worried about next week, because if they decide to show us the whole interaction between Jaime and Blackjack, it's just, it's gonna be really hard to watch. And of course, we know the team is gonna be able to get Jaime out. I'm just worried about what shape he'll be in when they do rescue him. So many emotions. It was a really, really good and very hard to watch episode. The next episode will be the season finale. However, the bad news is we're gonna have to wait 2 weeks to watch it because next week there won't be a new episode. It's gonna be a long wait. So those were my thoughts, but of course I'd love to hear your thoughts. Did you have as hard a time to watch as I did? Were you like this? Are you worried about what's coming next? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet so you don't miss my final Outlander review and other TV related videos we put on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye! So even though I love when Clara uses her knowledge of the future, I keep wondering how that affects the future. I mean, if she tells Blackjack when he dies, doesn't that actually impact when he's gonna die? And even the little thing she says, she told Jenny what crops to plant, doesn't that affect a lot of things that are gonna happen if that little thing changes? And then if we go even further, doesn't the fact that she's in the past affect the future anyway? Because she wasn't there originally, was she? Unless she was always there to begin with, but then how did it start? Because at some point she had to be born here to go back here and, you know, time traveling always confuses me.